Hello, Derud and Shalom. We be live.
Hello, everyone. We have breaking news today. So just now, there are explosions in southern Iran, in Bandar Abbas, Kesh, Sirik, and somewhere near Minab, after CENTCOM is responding to the Islamic Republic downing an Apache helicopter in the Persian Gulf. So we are going to talk about that, and it seems like there are actually more attacks as we are speaking. So we're going to cover everything for you guys. President Trump has also come out with a statement last night in a tele-rally saying that in 2 weeks we will achieve total victory over the Islamic Republic of Iran. And we're going to discuss everything for you here today, so make sure you keep watching. Armin, what do you think about the explosions always happening right now during this time? Whenever we go live, the explosions have happened 10, 15, 20 minutes before.
Yeah, I think like what the hell you have. I was telling you before we went live, you have the best time slots. Your show is at the best time for covering this stuff. Everything happens. Everything boom boom kinetic operation related happens right before your show goes live. So yeah, so I don't know,
really
maybe
lucky.
why. Yes, but people are disappointed in the chat. Cyrus is saying breaking news: proportional response from CENTCOM, and Fine Stars is saying exactly, Amy, just as the like last time, proportional response. So people wanted a response. I mean, we don't know yet. We don't know yet how big the response is going to be, but people want something much above a so-called proportional response. And look at this. Sarah saying favorite stream of the day. Let's go. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for your super chat.
Well, let's get right into it here. Oh no.
I'm here. Don't worry.
Okay. So let's take a look, guys. For the umpteenth time, I don't know how many times it's been, we have the United States has struck the Strait of Hormuz. I don't know how many radar sites or missile launching sites they have left here, but it turns out to be a lot of them, because here is what's happened today. So starting off with President Trump's statement that last night, the United States military informed President Trump that the Islamic Republic shot down an Apache helicopter while they were patrolling over the Strait of Hormuz. The 2 pilots were rescued, and nevertheless, the United States must respond. And we are seeing the response as we speak. Admiral Brad Cooper was also asked about this today in a congressional briefing, and he was asked, what is the response that President Trump is talking about going to be? Brad Cooper says, the commander of CENTCOM says, we'll see. And the pilots are indeed safe. They were actually rescued by these. These are drones. These are water-based drones, sea-based drones here. There's no one in there. They sent them. They picked up the pilots with these, and they are both safe. So I think that might be the first time that a water-based drone was used in an active war zone to rescue pilots from a downed aircraft.
They're so cool, yeah.
Lots of new things happening here. And that's just where technology is going. So President Trump said that he would respond. Let's max my laptop. Oh, wait, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're fine.
Okay. Is my audio fine?
Yeah, your audio is great.
All right, cool. Additionally, Trump said he was going to respond, so everyone was freaking out waiting for this. And then he came out and said this. He told the Wall Street Journal a couple hours ago, when he was asked about the downing of the Apache helicopter, he said, it's not a big deal. The pilots are fine. However, well, it seems like we do indeed have explosions, and we have a statement from CENTCOM here. They said,
I don't like the not a big deal comment, to be honest. I don't like
it. It is a big deal, right?
Shooting at American soldiers should be considered the biggest deal. Like, that is a big deal. What do you guys think? I don't like that. I don't like that language. I don't like that. Like, saying it wasn't a big deal. They tried to kill American soldiers. I don't think that's a proper way to talk about it. Even I don't know, guys. Even if this is mind games, I don't know, 5D chess stuff. I don't think we should talk about American soldiers being targeted like that. But yeah, sorry, Ali interrupted you.
No, not at all. I think you're exactly right. Even if you target the Apache helicopter with a missile, how do you're aiming at them. You're aiming at them with a missile. You cannot guarantee that those pilots aren't going to lose their lives. The fact that they didn't, due to their skill and luck, doesn't mean that, something worse couldn't have happened. So CENTCOM actually responded to this. They said that today, so this was 30 minutes ago, they said, as of 30 minutes ago, we have begun launching self-defense strikes against Iran. This is a proportional response. So it's interesting.
Look, yeah, so this is people. A lot of people are disappointed by that. This mission is a proportional response to unjustified Iranian aggression. Proportional. So see here, proportional is, according to Feinstars, proportional means just a left tap, basically. That's what it means.
And it looks like President Trump has come out and said that we have responded. Our response was very strong, very powerful, and that we have responded proportionately to the destruction of the helicopter.
What did they do?
Well, they did, I think, 4 or 5 explosions in Bandar Abbas, another 4 explosions on Keshem Island, and another 3 explosions in Sirik. So all in the Strait of Hormuz. Interesting.
Yeah. Not what I would do. I would do a lot more. I mean, they tried to kill your soldiers. I don't know. No.
Yeah, it seems like they went after radar sites again and military sites like that. I don't know if any IRGC were killed in here, but
it was the greatest response of all time in the history. Right. Well, I didn't know I could do a Trump voice. I'm surprised.
Yeah, you sounded more like him than I thought.
Right? Yeah, I'm actually surprised. I'm surprised I did that. I didn't know I could do voices. What the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, you should try to do a Scottish accent.
No. You do that.
Oh man.
What?
What?
Yeah, no. I was just asking the people in the chat, what do you guys think of this? Like, what is your opinion? We got another super chat saying Vance is what?
A peacenik?
Peacenik. It's being weak in the Middle East.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Well, JD Vance actually said something today. Said something pretty significant, in my opinion. I'll pull that up for you guys right now. This is what JD Vance has said today. Let's take a listen.
Oh, it's going to be bad.
Very close. How soon could the deal happen before the midterm elections?
Oh, absolutely. No, I think we're going to know a lot before the midterm elections. Look, I think that the deal could happen in the next week, but the deal could also happen months from now.
You say very close. How soon could the deal happen before the midterm elections?
So could it happen before the midterm elections? Yes. Oh, definitely. We'll have a lot known. Okay. All right. Whatever you say, JD.
I don't know if he even said anything at all. It could happen.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right. It could be that.
Yeah.
But that's
the deal could happen
most
in 2 minutes
statement.
or 2 years from now. So, okay, basically just saying anytime.
True. But he finally came out and said something pretty directly. He's been kind of out of the picture here with regards to Iran after his trip to Pakistan. And that's what we saw.
Yeah. By the way, this is all also, people have to realize that there's a competition between JD Vance and Marco Rubio happening in all of this, right? As the next, because these two right now have the highest chance of being the next Republican nominee for the presidential election. So everything that is happening within the politics within the President Trump's cabinet, it's also a silent competition between Rubio and Vance. Even if they deny it, they say they're not thinking about it. Like that's not true. They're constantly taking positions with that in mind.
All right. Well, Armin, guess what?
Yes.
So we had explosions here, Bandar Abbas, Qashm Island, Sirik over here. These are all IRGC naval bases and spots. So guess what happens now?
What?
This is okay. I'm gonna impersonate an IRGC commander for you guys. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Armin, you're like the guy that reports to me right now, and you're gonna be like, sir, they just hit us. The Americans just hit us. Okay.
Okay. Should I go? Okay.
Yeah.
Go. Orban, زدنمون. آمریکایی زدنمون.
What are you saying in English?
Oh, okay. It's like, sir, they're hitting us. The Americans are attacking.
Okay, I've heard enough. Bomb Kuwait, bomb Bahrain, bomb the United Emirates right now. Right now.
Is that what's happening?
That's what they're gonna do. 100% they're gonna do that.
Oh, that's your
100% they're
prediction.
gonna do that.
Okay.
I've heard enough. The Americans said us bomb the Arabs right now.
Yeah. Americans have us bomb the Arabs.
And it seems like the Arabs are prepared for this because Kuwait and Bahrain has already put themselves on the highest alert level possible. So yeah, that's probably going to happen. It's probably going to happen very soon. And
it's the safest bet to get no retaliation and just like who do we hit? Like every time you're angry, they're like, you just hit the Arabs.
Exactly.
Right, like you want to punch something. Like if I punch Americans, they're like, they're gonna hit me. Like, just find.
You're kind of just looking around. You're looking around the schoolyard, and you're seeing, well, who's the weakest looking kid? Who's not gonna hit me back?
Oh no. Okay, yes.
So yeah, it's probably gonna happen.
Like, but what did I do? I was involved here. Like, don't argue with me. You're gonna get hit.
You try not to make eye contact. Just
don't look at me. Don't look at me. Go hit the other Arab country. Not me. I bet you that's what. Like, I bet you UAE is like, oh my God, hit Kuwait, hit Bahrain, please, not me this time, not this one. Like, I bet you they're hoping that it's not them this time. I bet you the UAE has just recently came up with a agreement with the Islamic Republic to just please just stop attacking us, right? Like, I bet you the reason why the Islamic Republic is focusing on Bahrain and Kuwait is the Emiratis found a way to, do a deal where they're being targeted less, just like Saudi already did.
I mean, I'm going to tell you about that actually. So remember how, okay, guys, yesterday I told you guys that a plane from the United Arab Emirates took off, landed in Tehran for 1 hour, and came straight back to Abu Dhabi. I asked you guys what you thought it meant. Some of you said that they were dropping off cash. Some of you thought that it might be an evacuation of someone that they had. Well, rumors are circulating that it was indeed cash, and it was actually $3 billion. And we'll take a look at that right now.
We predicted this.
Yeah, so before we come back to this, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Yeah, so we're talking about $3 billion that the regime. So this isn't confirmed, right? Like neither the U.S. Secretary or the U.S. Treasury has come out and said this. They've not said this. This is coming out of multiple news agencies in the Middle East that are reporting this. So this is unverified.
But it would make sense. The UAE is losing so much more than $3 billion because of the Islamic Republic attack. So this is the most obvious deal to make, right? The Islamic Republic is desperate for money. The UAE is losing more than $3 billion, way more than $3 billion from the Islamic Republic attacks. The Islamic Republic needs $3 billion. The United Arab Emirates is losing more than $3 billion. So, like, how about we just give you $3 billion? You really need it. Like, we know you're desperate for cash. and we're desperate for you stop attacking us. How about we just give you the money and you stop attacking us? It's like the most obvious, like it makes sense for both sides. The UAE would save more than 3 billion if the Islamic Republic stops attacking them. The Islamic Republic desperately needs 3 billion. Like, we give you 3 billion, you stop attacking us. It would be such an obvious move from both sides. Yeah, it's extortion. Exactly. Yep, that's what's happening.
We
Oh my
have
God, guys, that's $3 billion for terrorism. Just additional $3 billion for Jew killing and other acts of terror just went to the Islamic Republic.
We have some breaking news coming out. It looks like the head of the IRGC Aerospace Force, which is just their missiles, has come out and said that all of our missile sites across Iran are ready to strike. We will deliver our response in the coming minutes. And subsequently, I am hearing that there are missile launches being heard or missile activity in Western Iran being detected. So we'll find out more verification about this in the coming minutes. And at the same time, it looks like that Israel is conducting more strikes on Lebanon. The Afghani-Pakistani war has resumed again, with Pakistan conducting airstrikes as we speak right now on Afghan positions. And we have explosions in the Strait of Hormuz. We have explosions in Iraq tonight, multiple explosions because the IRGC targeted Kurdish separatist forces. United States' planes have been active over Iraqi skies the entire night. And perfect. This is the most official war without being called a war. You know what I mean? So.
Oh my God.
It's just the entirety of the Middle East is under fire from each other.
Because that all just happened.
This has all happened in the past 2 hours. Like 120 minutes. We have explosions. Yep, explosions and more explosions right now in Dahiyeh. Guys, this is the exact spot that the IRGC said, do not hit it, otherwise we will mess you up, Israel. So they just hit it again. You have jets scrambling as we speak. In the last 30 seconds, jets have scrambled from Tehran airport and Mashhad airports. The IRGC are threatening to launch missiles once again at the Arabs and Israel, with preliminary reports of missiles have already being launched from the south of Iran, which usually goes and targets the Arabs. Yeah, it's going great. We're close. This week, the deal is going to happen this week.
So Pakistan and Afghanistan were like, "Oh my God, everybody's fighting. Hey, do you want to fight as well?" Like everybody's in. There's so much action. Like we're missing out. Let's go. just like somebody in the bar, just watching everybody punch each other. I'm like, I'm just gonna punch you as well. Let's get in on that action. Oh my God.
You know,
so what happened there? Like, why is that war coming back as well?
Well, I guess their war never really ended. So,
yeah.
But it's kind of like people are, you know, when there's like a psychopath in your class, like a kid psychopath in your class or your work, and you kind of you act really busy so that they don't like, you know, come towards you. They see like, oh, like, you know, like Ali's busy, so I'm not gonna like act crazy towards him. And you're kind of just like, okay, let's just bomb Afghanistan a little bit here, and no one's gonna look at us.
Jesus Christ.
This is exactly what's
and
going
all
on.
of this is happening while we're still officially calling it a ceasefire, right?
Correct. So
the ceasefire.
Dave's asking who's bombing who. Pakistan's bombing Afghanistan. Israel's bombing Dahiyeh in southern Beirut, Lebanon. The IRGC is about to bomb the Kuwaitis, Bahrainis, and probably Saudis. The United States is bombing the Islamic Republic. Oh, and the Islamic Republic is also bombing the Kurdish separatist groups in Iraq. There we go.
Israel is bombing Hezbollah? Did you mention that as well?
And yes.
That is happening, by the way. That is very aggressively so. Southern Lebanon.
Yeah, the IRGC has just stated, we advise the Muslim peoples who live near the bases of American presence to immediately move away from them by 10 kilometers. I called it. Alarms are sounding in American bases in the Persian Gulf. Preliminary alarms. Wow. Okay. Well, guys, let's go back to this so we can take a look at what Adachi was saying. Well, Adachi posted this. You might ask when. This was before the United States struck. This was like 3 hours ago, like almost 4 hours ago. And he said, he basically said, if the US bombs us, we're going to hit the Arabs. And that's pretty much exactly what he just said. So, yeah, it's great.
Wow. Wait, so is the U.S. response officially over? Like, is that like they stopped now?
U.S. officials tell Fox that airstrikes are ongoing. So we don't know if they're over, because CENTCOM also said we began, and they said that 30 minutes after the first bombs fell on the IRGC positions. So it seems like they might hit a few more targets, but I don't know if it's going to be anything crazy. And we'll pull up a map here of all of the struck locations so you guys can take a look. It's right here. So this is the Strait of Hormuz. The north side is the Islamic Republic of Iran, and the south side is Oman. These are all the spots that were hit. So we had 5 different spots, a couple dozen explosions. Missile batteries were hit, and ports. And I think they tried to go after some fast attack boats as well. I have to drink some water.
Wow. Oh my God, this is too much. It's hard to keep track of all of this. I think we should respond to some people in the chat because people have so many comments, and we're like, I don't want it to be stop being relevant to what we're talking about. Right now.
I'm gonna catch up on some super chats real quick while you look at the comments. All right, we got Fleshy Interloper with our super chat who says the response looks weak. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I'm not sure. It kind of looks like the regular response that they've been doing this whole time. So we'll see what happens indeed. Thanks, Fleshy Interloper. We have Zip Gunnel, who says, I'm very disappointed in J.D. Vance. Ties to Qatarlson, to Tucker Qatarlson. Does he have ties to them?
I think the reason why we're disappointed in J.D. Vance is more that he has an isolationist support within the politics of the United States. That's more of the reason why his base of support is isocox. That's the reason why you're disappointed in what he's does. That's the reason.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, and well, Zip, I hope he turns it around for you, honestly. But hey, I'm on Marco Rubio's side here. I want him to win. Anyway, we have Sarah Ocean here with the super chat. Thank you very much. Who says it's like an episode of a Housewives reality show. Yeah, everyone's fighting everyone. There's drama. You have like 2 seconds apiece, and then boom, someone said something, and that's about it. Should we call what should we call Sarah here? You call me like Maman Sarah, Khale Sarah.
Oh my God, she might be what? Like, why do you assume she's older than us? She might be younger than us.
Well, I think she said she has a kid.
Okay, still, I mean, Sarah, I didn't say that. Ali says that. Okay, you might be.
Anyway,
sister, Sarah, sister, yes.
Khale Sarah. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Sarah.
Ali, you're like.
Anyway, sometimes you say things and it sounds better in your head, but. Boboism here with the super chat who says a peacenik is a person who strongly opposes war and militarism, often advocating for peace through nonviolent means.
Pacifist, basically a pacifist.
Perhaps. I mean, is he a pacifist? Is JD Vance a pacifist?
He's an isocock. So well, I mean, his followers are. So isococks are one of their traits is to be pacifist. I think most of them, at least most of them.
Quick little update for you guys. Qatar has cleared its airspace, so has Kuwait and Bahrain. Kuwait has said that their air defense system and their radar systems are at full readiness and waiting response. And more unverified reports that missiles have been launched from Iran.
Whoa. Missiles have been launched from inside Iran?
From Khuzestan, Ahvaz, yep.
From Khuzestan, so west.
Yeah.
Going towards where? Israel? Probably.
Well, it could be Israel, could be the Arab states. I mean, the Arab states are much closer.
Ali, we're getting to a deal in 2 days. Trust me.
2 days. Not even.
2 days.
Yeah.
Not even.
This is, I mean, what if this was the deal the whole time? just take it.
Yeah. The real deal was the missiles that we shared along the way.
Along the way, yeah.
Oh,
everyone gets some.
Yes.
And Malak Bey, with a super chat here, or I'm just gonna call you Malak Bey. Anyway, said, has Ahmad Vahidi been killed? Nope. But there are rumors that contact has been cut off with Mujtaba Khamenei, but Vahidi has not been killed. No one important in the regime has been killed.
Unfortunately. Soon. See, let me check Khabar Fori.
Okay.
Oh, no. Okay. But you go ahead.
It seems like the U.S. is still conducting strikes, but we're not hearing any reports of explosions, so I'm not sure exactly what they're up to. And we have a super sticker from Reincarnation Entertainment.
Oh, hey, I saw you back in the school group today. Welcome back. Missed you. Good job. Yeah, good job coming back.
Also, how come it just says super sticker?
Because it doesn't, like, you want to see the graphics?
Yeah,
it doesn't transfer the.
Oh.
You have to watch it on YouTube. Don't worry, the chat saw it. The chat enjoyed it when it happens.
Okay. Let me scroll up here.
Oh, you want to see the graphics?
I was just kind of curious, but I can't. Oh, it's on your chat, so I can't see it.
Okay, I'll find it.
No worries.
No, it's good actually. It's interesting that you want. Okay, so it's a pair. Ali wants to know. It's a pair with a number 1 on its belly, and it's jumping up and down and saying "number 1 fan." So that's what it is.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. You know what? Actually, that's good. Every time I get a super sticker, if it's on my chat and you want to know what it is, let me know. I'll let you. I'll give you update.
Okay. Sounds good. Yep. Confirmation about Kuwait and Bahrain closing their airspace. Qatar has also done the same. And in a strange post, Vahid Online has come to Twitter to post one word saying prepare.
Wait. On Vahidi posted on X?
Vahid Online.
Oh, Vahid Online. Okay.
Yes, he has said, let me show you guys.
Yeah, sure.
Vahid Online has said, get ready, said prepare. Well, this is in Farsi, so Amadakon. Amadakon is like
Amadito. You should say
Wait, he said Amadakon. Yeah, Amadakon.
Yeah.
This is like guys, this is kind of like like I'm about to do something to you and I'm telling you to like prepare for me to do something to you. That's kind of what it means. But anyway, Sarah Ocean is saying it's called khar takhar, shakes head. Khar takhar in Farsi means it's a cluster F. It's everything's happening everywhere all the time. No one knows what's going on. Like exactly right now, the air defense of Kuwait and Bahrain is dealing with Shahed drones, and there are explosions in Bahrain as we speak. So there we go. We told you it would happen. I've had enough. Bomb the Persian Gulf Arab countries right now.
Jesus.
And Fables Told is asking us, did we do a response? I was watching Northern Ireland catch on fire and catching up on the Carmelo Anthony case. I didn't know that Northern
I have
Ireland was
no
catching
idea.
on fire.
I didn't know. Are they
But
joining
yes.
as well? Like,
The United States has
wow.
responded to the downed helicopter. They hit a lot of sites in the Strait of Hormuz, and it looks like the IRGC are bombarding the Arabs now as retaliation.
Is that happening?
Yep, that's
Is
happening.
that we have to,
That is confirmed.
really right now
The Arabs are getting hit as we speak.
as we speak? Which
As we
ones?
speak. Bahrain is currently intercepting. Kuwait and Bahrain are both intercepting Shahed drones.
I told you it's Kuwait and Bahrain. Saudi Arabia and the UAE have deals with they paid the Islamic Republic a lot of money to stop the attacks. And Kuwait and Oman are kind of allies, so they get only bombed. You know, if you're an ally of the Islamic Republic, it means you get bombed less. It doesn't mean don't get bombed. It just means that you get bombed less. So UAE and Saudi Arabia paid the Islamic Republic, so that just leaves Kuwait and Bahrain. So those are going to get most of the bombings right now. So
Disgusting.
Americans attack, bomb Bahrain.
Exactly.
You know what? United States, next time the Islamic Republic attacks you, bomb Mexico or Canada. Why not? I don't know. Oh my god.
This is exactly like that meme where a lot of anti-Israeli Americans make, where they're like, I've heard enough, send 50 billion to Israel. Like whenever something happens. This is exactly like, I've heard enough. Bomb the Arabs right now. It's like every IRGC commander, every time they hear any explosion.
Oh my god. Poor Kuwait, Bahrain.
So here's what I'm thinking. This would be the fourth time, I think, that the Persian Gulf Arab countries get bombed while the United States is right there. And this time, the Arabs are going to be really mad because the U.S. just struck, the Strait of Hormuz at IRGC targets, and then directly the Arabs are directly paying for it. So I think they're going to be pretty pissed off this time.
So this is actually, this worked out very well for the Islamic Republic. So by bombing the Arab countries, they're basically getting funding for their war. So they're like, hey, we need money. Pay us money or we bomb you. So, and it's working.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't want that 3 billion to be true. Just as a reference, guys, 3 billion is essentially 6 days. 6 days worth of money that the Islamic Republic would have made. So they lose $500 million a day in the Strait of Hormuz being blocked. That's 6 days of funding for them. But 3 billion is still 3 billion. It's not good. I don't like that at all. That's not good. I don't want that to set a precedent for them to do it again and again. And we have Wubo, who's asking us if Iran has any air defense systems again. They have a ton of manpads, which are like shoulder mounted. Yeah, there's like these Chinese shoulder mounted surface to air defense. You just like someone just holds them, shoots them up.
Yeah, they're pretty advanced, but they only work if you're flying low, and that's how they took down the American fighter jet last time by the Chinese manpad. So they have other air defense like the Bavar system, which in the previous rounds of attack were damaged, wasn't fully destroyed. Israelis right now came back, just like not right now, but yesterday, 2 days ago or yesterday. In response 2 days ago, in response to the Islamic Republic's attack on Israel, they came in They destroyed a petrochemical company facility, but they also took out some Bavar. So the Islamic Republic, mostly when there's air defense, used to be S-300s, and the Bavar system, the S-300s they bought from Russia. The Bavar system is the one that they had domestically made themselves. They're not very good. And I think Israel just took down some of them. So basically, they have close to zero air defense other than the manpad Ali just referred to, right?
Yeah, and the manpads are not that great because the plane that you're shooting at, the jet, has to be within 2 miles of you, and it has to be below 7,500 feet. So pretty much what that means is that you, as the guy shooting at the jet, have to know exactly where the jet is going to be for you to be positioned in that perfect spot. Basically, the window at which you get to target it and shoot is not very large. So you got to be right then and there at the right time in the right place. And Uchi Mada says JD Vance represents the anti-Jew / Israel of MAGA. Interesting. And we have, you can say this
Wait.
username.
No, wait, like before I say that, do you agree with this?
I don't know, actually. I haven't listened to his statements about Israel a lot.
So a lot of anti-Jewish, anti-Israeli Americans are in favor of voting for JD Vance. But that doesn't necessarily mean that JD Vance himself has that position, but he knows that he has that base of support. Okay. Also, one big problem JD Vance has is that a lot of racist Americans, like that's his base, but he's married to an Indian, right? So, and people like Nick Fuentes, for example, are trying to take that racist base of support away from him by attacking him for being married to an Indian. So there's that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then your favorite username?
What, you don't want to say that? Say
You got
it.
this one.
Okay.
Peer
What would you
pressure.
do from that? Yeah. Dumb motherfucker gave us a super chat saying, I don't understand. Doesn't Pakistan have the clause with Saudi about being attacked? Is it just BS? Well, I mean, Pakistan, I think that's the attack is supposed to be from nation state, right? For that to, I think, I'm not sure, for that to be activated. I don't think it gets activated if we have Pakistani, so we have the Taliban, the militia groups attacking from. So because right now the accusation is not that the government in Afghanistan is attacking Pakistan, is that there are Pakistani Taliban inside Afghanistan are using Afghanistan as a base of operations against Pakistan, and Pakistan just goes into Afghanistan to hit them and come back. So it's not, so that's not like a nation state of Afghanistan attacking you. That's basically you dealing with terrorist groups from inside Afghanistan. So I think it doesn't escalate it to the level that it will get Saudi Arabia involved, I think. But I could look into that to be sure. Yeah.
Yeah, also, the Islamic Republic has treaties with Pakistan too, so they're kind of, it's all a it's all mixed up. Well, welcome to everyone who's joined. Basically, the United States had an Apache helicopter downed. Quick recap. So the IRGC shot down an Apache helicopter in the Strait of Hormuz. The Americans have responded by bombing several military sites in the Strait of Hormuz. And to respond to that, the IRGC, the Islamic Republic of Iran, is now targeting the Arab countries in the Persian Gulf. Oh, and also Iraq, Kurds in Iraq. What a day. Are you finding something for the Pakistan.
So basically,
Saudi.
the agreement that Saudi Arabia and Pakistan have, it's not a strict NATO-style automatic military intervention pact. It's more political solidarity plus cooperation. So for example, they could get involved with mediation, not just necessarily fighting. Yeah. So it's not like as automatic as what you have with NATO.
As a quick side note for you guys, Pete Hegseth is going to be traveling to Cuba tomorrow. Oh,
Ooh.
interesting.
Cuba. He's going to enter
Yes.
Cuban soil.
Yes.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Very
Wow.
interesting. And we have the next super chat from Amy Ryan, who would like to poll. And the poll should be, when will the ceasefire start again?
I was going to actually start a poll, but in that case, a joke poll. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's basically turning it off and on every few minutes, basically, at this point. It's a Schrödinger ceasefire. That's how I would describe it. It's a Schrödinger's ceasefire.
Yeah.
It has a superposition. It has a collapse in one of these positions.
And the next one is by Firejack, who brings up an interesting point here. Okay, guys, listen to this. So the drone that was set to shoot down the Apache helicopter, the U.S. Apache helicopter, was thought to be a Shahed drone. Except that Firejack here is correct. And Shahed drones are set to hit a stationary target, meaning if you're the guy who's launching the Shahed drone, you put a GPS coordinate in there, and then boom, it's a one-way, it just goes. You can't tell it to like change directions or anything like that. Which means that it wasn't a Shahed drone, because obviously an Apache helicopter would be damn near impossible to hit with a GPS coordinate. It was actually a newer type of drone that the IRGC have. And that one is able to be remote controlled. So they hit the Apache helicopter with that. And we have a couple of statements for you guys from the IRGC themselves regarding this exact thing, which is really funny. But they're saying, yeah, Shahed drones are set to hit stationary targets. They can't hit moving ones. The most plausible is that the Apache was shooting the drone headed to a land target or a ship target when it exploded, damaging the helicopter. Yep, could be. We don't know the exact details just yet. The IRGC are praising the fighter who shot down the Apache helicopter. So take that what you will. But yeah, thanks, Firejack.
Thank you.
It's an excellent point, by the way. It was not a Shahed drone. No Shaheds.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because I mean, think about it. Unless the helicopter is actually, even then it would be damn near impossible to hit it, because the helicopter's in the air. Even if you put a GPS coordinate, the GPS coordinate is set to land on the ground. So yeah.
Okay, now the Islamic Republic is saying that they didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah. So let me show you exactly what they said.
This is crazy. They're like, okay, wait, they were bragging about it, and now they're saying we didn't do it on purpose. Oh my God.
Where is it? What?
I have it here. Look at this. Iran's deputy foreign minister told Al Jazeera that a U.S. Apache helicopter that went down over the Strait of Hormuz on Sunday was not deliberately targeted by Iran. Kazem Gharibabadi said such an event could happen unintentionally because of the tense military situation in the area. Wow.
Do you know what they said right before this? They started off the night by saying that Iran is not behind the attack on the American Apache helicopter. Then they said there was no deliberate intention to shoot it down. And then after that, they said, a senior Iranian official in the IRGC said, I would kiss the hands of the fighter who shot down the helicopter.
Okay. Oh my God, the RGC outlet is saying the same thing. Look at this.
Yeah, that was the
No
first
offense.
statement they made.
Yeah. No offensive aerial military operation has taken place in the Strait of Hormuz over the past 24 hours. The IRGC affiliated Tasnim News reported, citing an informed military source after U.S. President Donald Trump said Iran had downed a U.S. Apache helicopter. By the way, guys, people who are correcting me about how I say Apache, I'm saying it how we say it in Iran, okay? We call it Apache. So Apache, whatever you guys say. I pronounce it the way it was pronounced in Iran.
In the next couple of minutes, we are about to hear more sounds of explosions coming out from the Persian Gulf Arab states, because it seems that the IRGC has started their second wave of missile attacks. The first one seems like they got intercepted by Bahrain and Kuwait. Here we go with wave number 2. The Americans are saying that their attack is still ongoing, but we have not heard any more explosions. Wow. And oh yeah, and by the way, this entire time, and by entire time, I mean the past few weeks, Iraq is still getting hit by Shahed drones from the IRGC, including a few minutes ago. You know, in fact, guys, I want you guys, I mean, you guys know this by now. You guys definitely know this by now. Could everyone take a listen and tell me what kind of drone, what could this possibly be?
Oh my God. I mean, it looks like a Dorito. It sounds like loud noises that we already talked about. Like that, you guys remember that video from inside Islamic Republic bragging about the loud noises these make. It sounds exactly the same. Yeah, they're so easy to detect. Their sound is so, I mean, unique to them, and their shape is like a triangle. And like, this is the most, like, everybody can be a military expert when it comes to Shahed drones, because unlike all the other missiles and everything else, people are like, oh, what is that? What is that? But these, like, everyone like, oh, that's a Shahed. That's a Shahed drone. It's a flying Dorito.
Yeah, I just don't know. You know, there's no way that you could ever say that wasn't you, because it's no one else
Right.
has these except for Russia. But they
Yeah.
can't reach from Russia to Iraq, so interesting.
Yeah, I mean, nobody else in the region uses that for sure. Somebody's
guys,
asking
if it looks like a white Dorito and it sounds like a donkey, that is the IRGC.
Oh my God, that's pretty good. I love that. Dornitos, Sarah is saying. Dornitos. That's good. Ooh.
I like that one.
So we got a super chat asking you to share your secret ways, Ellie. Look at this.
Yes.
Ooh.
So Iman USA is asking, guys, do you feel like sharing your favorite intel sources with the rest of the class? Love the channel, fellas. Oh man, this is a good question. Well, what if it's like, what if it's like something I semi-built though? How do I share that?
Show us.
No, I don't want to show it, but here's what I did. You can, okay, so there's a lot of people out there who collect open source intelligence, which just means that, like, for example, you have someone like Shin who directly gets information from someone on the ground in Iran, or Vahid Online who directly has someone text them that, hey, there's explosions in this area, and then they come and post it, right? You can make an application that captures all of this from any country and any channel, although narrowing it down is better because you just get bombarded by everything. And you can put in, keywords, you can put in key phrases, stuff like that. And I'll get anywhere from like, the Zionist regime has done this, like obviously that's a Hezbollah channel, to, the IRGC, the terrorist regime in Iran is doing this, and you're like, okay, that's obviously pro-Iranian people. So anywhere in between, and that's kind of it. It's like a little bit of hijacking other people's work, a little bit of coding.
Coding.
Yeah.
Okay, so you built your own system here.
Yeah, you can use AI to help you with the script, and you can do it all. I mean, it'll just take time, but you can do it.
Oh, wow. Guys, look at this. Ali has built his own intelligence dashboard.
It's very specific, right? It's just about Iran and anything in the Middle East that pertains to Iran. So
interesting.
But if you email me, I could send you something that might help.
Oh, wow. Look at that. That's very generous. Sharing
Yeah.
his work like that.
Oh, where's Duhawk? See, like one of the keywords I filtered for is explosion. Duhawk is a city in Iraq. Never mind. Okay. We'll put that on the back burner.
The Durka search engine.
That's what I should call it. Although I don't know if I would get a lot of customers there.
We got a Saber coaching. Thank you so much for helping us reach our goal, getting us to 10 out of 10. And they're saying, oh, Ali, do you know what? Oh, I know what he's saying or she's saying.
Apache.
Do you know what to say? Apache, yeah. So Apache, how we say Apache, helicopter Apache. That's how we say it in Persian. Sounds a lot like Apache, which is basically, water spraying games in Iran, like with water guns, right? So Apache. Yeah, I don't know. Makes sense. But thank you for giving us a 10. Yeah.
When I was in Iran as a kid, people would be like, oh, you're American? And I'd be like, yeah. And then they would immediately start saying any English word that they knew. And the most common one was like S-top. It'd be like E-S-T-O-P, like S-top. And I would make fun of them, and then they would make fun of me. And yeah, I don't think anything's going to change when I go back. I think they're still going to make fun of me. Be like, why do you talk with an accent? Like, that's not how you say that.
Yeah, in Persian, putting, what is the opposite of a vowel?
Consonant.
Consonant. Like too many of them next to each other doesn't make any sense, right? So that's why train is Tehran. Tehran. Officer, like star is setare, because you don't have the se, te, like that doesn't, flow in Persian. So you need to add more vowels to make it work. So you don't have star, you have setare. You don't have brother, you have barodar. Yeah, exactly. You don't have Trump, you have Terump.
Yeah.
Right? You don't have stop, you have estop. So a lot of people are saying that you're pronouncing it wrong when you say estop, but you're not pronouncing it wrong. You're just Persianizing it.
So when you're learning the alphabet in Farsi, the letter in English you would say S, like S, right? In Farsi it's se, like se. There's like a or like T is like te. Not, we say T, they say te. So there's always like a little bit of like a vowel attached to it, which is why they say terump, not Trump.
By the way, setare didn't come from star. Star came from setare. Yeah. And also with brother and barodar. So some of these came from English to Persian, but some of them came from Persian to English.
It does seem like the American attacks in the south coast of Iran have stopped, but we have a new player. We have a new player in the playground tonight. A country in the Middle East that has so far not bombarded others recently and has begun tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Turkish army has been shelling a mountain range in Iraq starting tonight.
Wow. Guys, we have unlocked a new character.
Yep. And they're trying to do this quietly. They're like, shh.
What the? Why?
A mountain range in Duhok in Iraq. Maybe terrorists?
Kurdish separatists?
Wow. Oh, yeah, probably. No one likes those guys, including us. We don't like them either. I almost feel bad for them, but I don't.
Jesus Christ. Why is everybody picking tonight to bomb? Like, is this a national bombing holiday or something that I'm not aware of? Why is everybody picking tonight?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense. If everyone's hitting something, if you come in and hit something, they'll probably not pay attention to you.
All right. Should we bomb something, Ali, right now?
Like, no. No.
Guys, people in the chat, are you guys bombing anybody or being bombed at the moment by any chance, given that everyone is getting in on it tonight? Are you bombing or the target of a bombing operation? No? Just let us know.
Wow. I did not expect Turkey to get involved, but hey.
Turkey.
There it is. I wonder if they're going to make an official statement. Probably not.
Can you go over the list of everything that is happening, like tonight one more time, like from beginning to end? Because this is crazy stuff.
Let's do it. I have a mental list, but I'm going to show you guys what's happening. All right, let's go. Okay. Let's work our way from left to right. Starting off in Israel. Israel is striking Hezbollah positions here in Lebanon, south of Beirut, in the Dahiyeh, and some other spots. The Dahiyeh is the red line for Hezbollah, and it is also the red line for the Islamic Republic of Iran. Moving on from that, we have explosions here, north of Iraq, right near the Iranian border. We have explosions there, and then we also have explosions right here, as of just a few minutes ago, in the city of Duhok, in this mountain range that you guys can see right there. The Turkish army is shelling these positions. As you can see, they share a border with Turkey right here. Very close, actually. Very, very close. So that makes sense. Moving on more further right, you have seen that Kuwait and Bahrain, Qatar also closed their airspace, but I guess they weren't hit. Kuwait and Bahrain intercepted Shahed drones tonight. Doesn't seem like any of them landed. They were pretty much completely expecting this to happen. Then, a little bit more south into the Strait of Hormuz, the island of Kesh was struck, Bandar Abbas was struck, the naval base of Sirik was struck, and the port of Jask, right here, was also struck. And you might think it ends there. Well, it doesn't. Moving on into Afghanistan and Pakistan, we have airstrikes conducted from Pakistan because Afghanistan doesn't have an air force. So that also happened there. And yeah, wow, all in the space of about 3 hours now, three and a half hours. So I'm wondering what the Middle East looked like from space tonight.
Wait, maybe I have a picture. That probably looks like something like this. Look at all of these. Okay, straight. Look, breaking. Kinetic, yeah, the kinetic strike. Oh, Iranian revolutionary strikes underway to Persian Gulf states. U.S. officials stated the U.S. President Trump believed. What is this one? The official stated U.S. President Trump believes a deal with Iran is still close. Wow, look at this.
Yeah, I just saw that. Wow.
A U.S. official stated that the U.S. President Trump believes that a deal with Iran is still close despite the U.S. strike that followed the downing of an American helicopter over the Strait of Hormuz. What do you make of that?
What do I make of that? Well, I have an answer for you, my dear co-host. I have an answer for you that I'm going to show you right now. Take a look at this. Mr. Sayyid Abbas Araghchi, 52 seconds ago, has posted something. Despite its defeats on the battlefield, the United States opted to test our determination. Our powerful armed forces will leave no attack unanswered. Leave our region if you want to be safe. Oh,
Jesus Christ.
So it looks like they're about to attack again.
You know, oh my God. Yeah, go on. You go ahead first.
Do you think maybe this time they'll target Israel? Or do you think they'll keep hitting the Arabs?
I mean, if I was them, I would not attack Israel right now. That would be devastating. But honestly, if I was the US, I would just make an example of all of these. Like, I mean, if you're a superpower and these people are going around and talking like this, like at some point you have to be like, yeah, enough is enough. Let me demonstrate to people who don't take us seriously. Like you shouldn't be able to get away with just saying stuff like that against United States. If it was me, I would just fuck all of these people up by now. Like enough is enough. Like, how do you go around? Like, you're a pathetic state, right? That doesn't, with a collapsing economy, and going around and saying like, oh yeah, we're going to defeat the Americans. Like, fuck these people up already. Like, shut their mouths. Like, get it over with. I don't know. What do you think?
I think I was wondering the same thing. So I asked our expert, Jeffrey, last night, and he said, basically I asked him if the United States military is so powerful, and if they could just completely destroy the IRGC in a matter of a week, start to finish, take out everyone, or take out all the Houthis in a matter of a few days, you know, Hezbollah, whatever. Why don't we? If we're so powerful, why don't we just do it? And he gave me an answer that opened up my eyes and made me connect the dots. Yes, we can destroy them whenever we want at our time and choosing, but the equipment that we have requires bases, military bases like airfields. These are huge planes that need to take off to refuel the jets and etc. These countries, like Kuwait, Bahrain, United Arab Emirates, Saudi, Spain, Germany, all these countries, Italy, they're not letting us use their bases. They told us no, straight up no. We can't use our equipment there at all. So we're super duper limited in the amount of things that we can use. If we could just use everything, this would have been over months ago, but we can't.
Look at this. Fine Stars is saying Trump is ruining the United States' reputation as the military superpower. I think she
I
must
would argue the exact opposite. I would say the exact opposite is true.
I mean, there are a lot of people who are fans of America and they are disappointed. And I'm not saying if they're right or wrong, but it is happening. Like, whether they are correct or whether they're wrong, a lot of people are disappointed.
I mean, I'm disappointed that we can't use everything and just finish it off. But, you know, guys, the United States military wasn't displaying its power in many years like this. And this has reminded many countries around the world to shut up, or this might happen to them as well. Yeah, wow, everyone's freaking out over Arachchi's post right now that he just posted a minute ago.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, that's a
Really?
direct threat. Leave our region if you want to be safe.
Jesus Christ.
Keep in mind, the last thing he said was 4 hours ago, and he said, basically, he was telling the Persian Gulf Arab countries to flee and to stop. Otherwise, they're going to get hit. And so now he's saying, leave the region if you don't want to be hit directly. Psychopath.
Okay, this is not related, but this is just breaking. A British teenage girl was raped for hours by 4 Afghan nationals in Bristol last December, per the Sun. The Afghans kept the girl under the influence with booze and cigarettes. All 4 of them have denied. So that's just, they discovered that. So that was just breaking.
That's just terrible.
Oh, here's the Afghan news that you were talking about. Another Afghan. The Afghan-Pakistani conflict has apparently resumed following Pakistan Air Force airstrikes in Khost and Paktika provinces. So that's happening.
Everywhere. If you guys stick around for a few more minutes, we might be hearing more sirens and interceptions over the Persian Gulf, depending on who the IRGC is going to target this time. Oh, also, Armin, before the United States struck tonight, Trump called Netanyahu. They had a brief phone call. Ooh.
Oh, shit.
For those of you thinking that there was an actual rift between Israel and the US, it's all fake.
Well, I mean, we don't know. It looks like it increases the chances of it being fake, but it also might mean that they just recover and they had a tense moment and now they're fixing it. I heard Marco Rubio had a this is what the official line is, which might not be the reality. The official line is that Marco Rubio convinced President Trump that Israel needs to respond. That's what we're hearing. That President Trump was basically didn't want to allow Israel to respond, and Marco Rubio managed to convince him that they have to respond. And President Trump was convinced by Marco Rubio. Again, this could all be fake, but that's what we're hearing happen.
It'll be great to come back when this is all over and know what actually happened. Yeah. Also, I was thinking we could recap for a couple of minutes. We'll read the super chats and then we can recap what we think, because over the last couple of days, I know we've been kind of theorizing as well, and some people think that, you know, maybe we've changed our positions or they don't know what our positions are on things. We could do that.
Okay. All right. Let's go through the super chats and then we could do.
All right. So
Also,
real quick. Yeah, go on.
Also remember that I need to, after you read the super chats, I'm going to go do an interview. You continue watching everything and updating people. Is that because, guys, I have a big interview coming up. Here, let me show you. Well, actually, yeah, I'll share it with you guys later. So I have a big interview coming up, so I'm going to go do that. But Ali will be here and will be talking to you guys and giving you updates. I'm just going to continue that. But so let's go to super chats. Oh, that's the alarm telling me I have to go. So yeah, let's do the super chats. Then after that, I'll leave.
All right, then. So we have Shauna saying it's a pre-solstice spawn fire. I think the solstice is a couple weeks from now, right? 14, no, less than a couple weeks.
That's why it's pre-solstice. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Shauna.
Sure. Yeah, that's
good point.
That's good. Good point.
And push-ups saying Happy National Bomb Being Day.
Bombing day, yes.
Yeah, because I guess YouTube.
I think the reason why you wrote it like that is because YouTube wouldn't let you send that if it had a bomb in there. Yeah.
Yeah. And Saber Coaching says, Turkey is next after Iran, right? Islam-wise? No. I think next is probably Lebanon or Pakistan or Afghanistan or Iraq. Yeah. I would think Turkey is one of the last ones.
Yeah, Turkey is more, unfortunately, as the Islamism there is a bit more stable. I mean, I don't know. Do we also have more opposition to the Islamism in Turkey? So we have like protests and everything. So we'll see. Now, Turkey might be next because in all these other countries, do we have an uprising against like the Islamic government there right now? We have in Turkey, but we don't have it in the other places. So it might be Turkey. Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see, Saber. Let's see. And Shannon Moore, the super chat, says Iran puts the miss in missiles. Yeah, they even demonstrate their misses for us. When they take videos to show their missiles launching, they have to literally move the camera frame because they thought the missile was going to land somewhere and it didn't. And so they had to like actually move it to be like, see? Yeah, it's terrible. Thanks, Shannon. And oh.
Wow, look at that username. This guy is an anti-Semite.
Stupid username here. Saying, Ali, we need to ban something that I'm not going to say and stop these PDF file juice bags.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you for confirming Zionism. Thank you for confirming how disgusting Jew haters on the planet are. And why we need to, how big of a deal the anti-Jewish hate is. And thank you for funding Zionists. Ali, do you consider yourself a Zionist?
Heck
yes,
yeah.
There you go. Like, look how retarded you are. I mean, if this is serious and if it's not a joke, I mean, if it is a joke, it's not a very good one. But if you're a Jew hater, you're demonstrating how retarded Jew haters are. You just funded 2 Zionists. Thank you for that. Jew haters are so retarded that they actually give money to Zionists. They give money to their enemies.
Lovely. That's my first super chat like that.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten one before. See, guys, I was just kind of like, okay, whatever, I'm just gonna move on. But then Armin, a veteran of these anti-Zionist super chats, he knew exactly what to say.
Yeah, by the way, for the rest of your life, you should like remind yourself, just remember that you actually contributed to funding Zionism, right? This is the curse that you have to live with for the rest of your life.
I'm gonna go donate that to what should I donate it to?
To AIPAC.
AIPAC, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And another super chat from Pushups who says YouTube will let me say fuck though. It's ridiculous. All right, guys, I said it. So.
Oh, you did? Oh, wow. Oh no.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to go to your interview, and I'll continue going on?
All right, you go ahead, guys. I'll. So hey, I'm not gonna say the. You say it. You say the whole thing in full, okay?
Okay. We have. Leave. All right, guys. So Armin's gonna head to his interview.
No. Say it after when you're ending the stream, not now.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, guys. So I'm not gonna say what I usually say because Ali's gonna say it today when he ends the stream. So you guys say with Ali, okay?
What's the news agency or channel?
Oh, it's the Paramount. What is it called? Paramount Tactical.
Is it live or is it pre-recorded?
I think it's live.
Oh,
let me see. Yes, it's live.
Paramount Free Tactical.
Anyway, I have to go.
Okay. Good luck.
Okay. All right, guys. See you guys soon. Bye.
All right. See you. Wait, guys. What did he say? Paramount what? Paramount Tactical? Wait, what? Oh, it's going to be a live stream. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Because I thought it was going to be a news channel. We should watch this. I think we should watch it. He's going to go live soon. Perfect. Because I searched up Paramount Tactical and it was like a shooting website for like guns. I mean, weapons. Okay, let's check the news here. All right, people are still reporting the same things, it seems like. All right, quick recap. So the US has just struck military targets, like radars. Radars and such military sites. The IRGC responded by trying to target American bases, but they say that every time. And every time they say that, they start targeting the Kuwaiti and Bahraini cities. Yep. All right. I guess that was the response of the United States. Oh, okay. We have confirmation, official confirmation that there's anti-aircraft activity in central Iran. Let's see if anything comes out of that. While we're waiting for that, Steve's asking, do you think the United States will hit bigger targets in Tehran and not just the South because of that Apache incident? No, I don't think so. At least as how it stands here. So here's what happened, okay? Tonight we saw the Middle East just erupt. But behind the scenes, this is exactly what happened. President Trump said, he declared that he's going to respond to the Apache helicopter. We don't usually see someone come and say, hey, we're going to hit you before they hit them. Okay, so that's the first indicator that this is more for show, for political reasons. 2, President Trump called Benjamin Netanyahu right before he conducted the strikes in the Strait of Hormuz tonight. Okay, probably to be like, hey, Bibi, they might go crazy. Be careful. Be ready. And to kind of give him an update or whatever, right? Then the IRGC came out and said, again, before they hit, we are going to respond to this American aggression. Leave the region if you want to be safe. Our response is coming soon. Boom, started launching drones at Kuwait and Bahrain. Huh. Okay, well that's IRGC media. Anyway, so they, again, another indicator that's a show. The IRGC comes out and says, hey, we're gonna hit you guys. Usually you hit them first. Then they find out that you hit them because of the explosions, right? So anyway, that is what's making me think that tonight was just a show. It was just limited strikes. We're not going back to a full-on war. But, and I have something for you guys so we can look over together. If you guys are wondering and maybe a little bit confused, I'm going to show you a literal side-by-side, like everything that's happened in June, the past week, in terms of statements, so that we can take a look together. And we'll go through it super quick. I'm just going to say it for you guys so you have a general idea of what these kind of strikes have meant. And I shared it last night in my group discussion, but it seems like someone deleted it, which is really unfortunate. Dang, sometimes I should really save these things. Anyway, Islamic Republic State Media is saying that they hit 2 water treatment facilities in Bahrain because the Americans hit 2 water treatment facilities in Sirik, Iran. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know about that. Take everything the Islamic Republic says with a grain of salt, meaning don't believe it. It's probably not true. But if I can't find that thing right now in the next 5 seconds, I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys the regular things that we're going to go through today. Yeah, okay, I can't find it. Whatever. All right. Let's check out and see what you guys are saying before we get into the rest of the stuff. Oh, interesting. Okay, so Wheelman was saying, yeah, isn't Ukraine kicking butt lately? Yes, Ukraine is pretty much winning, straight up winning the war with Russia. And Russia is trying to escalate the war by dragging Europe in there and threatening them with nuclear weapons to get Ukraine to stop. That's their general strategy here. But otherwise, they're getting hammered. They're getting hammered. Firejack was asking, what is my X account? Yeah, so if you guys follow my X account, which is just the same thing as my YouTube handle, it's actually, if you go to my YouTube channel, in the description, there's an X link. You just click on it, sends you straight to it. If you go to my X and follow me, you can just see all the things that I'm about to share with you guys right before it happens and before the show, or most of them. And yeah, I think Armin's interview starts in about 9 minutes, I think. Let me double check that. Yes. Oh, interesting. Guys, look at this. Oh, no. Ooh, watch party. All right, we got 7 minutes and 45 seconds. Iranian ex-Muslim exposes the truth about Iran, Israel, and radical Islam. Wow. All right, I'll have that. And so let's see if we can go through everything that we need to go through. Okay, so here's the big thing that's been bothering me. Today, there's these rumors, right? Because yesterday we had a jet take off from the United Arab Emirates, land in Tehran for 1 hour, and then leave. I'm thinking to myself, there's 3 options here. 1, the United Arab Emirates just dropped off a couple $2 billion to the IRGC. 2, they maybe evacuated someone, maybe their own people, maybe someone from someone in the Islamic Republic. And 3, to have a secure diplomatic talk with the IRGC. Seems like a lot of the rumors are that the UAE has given them $3 billion. That's terrible. That's really bad. Super chat real quick. Sarah is asking, Ali, why did you leave your profession for YouTube? Sorry, I'm trying to see if how to answer that. I didn't exactly leave. So for just a quick context, I was/am, or kind of am, I mean, it doesn't just go away, am a heart scientist. So I work in electrophysiology or structural heart. And I would build and test medical devices for the largest medical device company in the world. And so it'd be anything from like conducting experiments on human hearts to animals to potatoes. Did anyone know that you can actually, potato tissue is very similar to heart tissue? So yeah, did all of those. We'd publish papers. We'd travel around the world to teach doctors how to use our devices and convince them on how to use our devices. Am I missing anything here? Oh, if there was if there's any strokes that happen in Ireland, for example, I have to review the 3 hours of surgery, second by second, minute by minute, find out what the physician did that was wrong, and kind of push back to that hospital because they end up blaming us because I'm technically the subject matter expert on that. Anyway, so that's what I was doing. And that doesn't really go away, so I guess I could just go and do it again. But ever since Iran started 6 months ago, this is all I think about and all I want. So, yeah, I'm in a position. I don't know if I want to say good or bad, but I'm in a position. Momo is asking, when or where is Armin's interview? I just got here a bit ago. So Armin's interview is in 4 minutes. and we're going to watch it together. Yeah. But real quick, before that starts, there might be a couple more things I want to show you. And also, the coolest thing I think about my job was actually that the coolest thing about my job was that I had the exact heart condition, the heart problem, and I had the exact heart surgery that I ended up a few years later becoming a scientist for. So I was like on that side of the knife, now I'm on this side of the knife, and it was completely by chance because I was working in cancer testing. So I would work for a pharmaceutical company that would treat cancer. And then I got hired at my most recent company. And then I went from looking at like molecules and like cells to holding a human heart and being like, oh, that's what plaque feels like, which by the way, it feels like teeth, literally. So that plaque that builds up in your heart is exactly like teeth. Feels the same, as the same hardness and everything. Yeah. I can give you oh my God, I can give you so many fun facts about the heart and etc., or just how to keep your heart healthy, really. So if you guys ever want those, let me know. But let's go back to this real quick. Okay, so I thought this was interesting. Maybe you guys would think too. This is in the Dahia. This is where Hezbollah has their family hold up, basically. It's like kind of their headquarters in southern Beirut, the capital of Lebanon. And look at this. These guys put up a poster of the Khamenei's, and they're saying, I mean, I think this is in Arabic, but they're saying, if I'm reading it in Farsi and Arabic has the same alphabet, mostly. But if I were to read Arabic, I wouldn't know what I'm saying. So this is similar enough. So it says Shokra Iran, which I'm assuming means thank you, Iran, in Arabic. Yeah. I wonder why they're saying that. Could it be because the IRGC in the Islamic Republic has spent billions of dollars to build up Hezbollah over the past few decades? Probably. Probably. Yeah, people are saying. Carolyn, Texas was saying, I'm going to start eating more vegetables just from that statement. Yeah, that's never a bad thing. It's never a bad idea. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can answer this question. If you guys are wondering what program I'm using for the map that I'm showing you guys, anyone can do this. So if you just type in like Google My Maps, this pops up. And you can basically create maps, like lists for you guys. And you can add layers here. If you see on the left side, this is June 14th. But if I click on the other layers, you can see, like, if you look at the map right now is just the events that have happened today, the blue things. But then if I add the other layers, you can see a whole lot more basically marks coming up. And these are things that I have pinpointed as we've gone through. A lot of the important stuff, not everything for sure. Sometimes if there's just like not enough things for me to try to keep track of, I will just talk about it with you guys. But if there's a ton, if there's like 15 things or more, then I'll make a map like this. It just kind of helps me keep track. All right, we're waiting for Armin's interview to go live. It is currently 4. So as soon as that goes live, we're going to switch over to it. Trying to see if I can fit one more thing. Yes, we can. If you guys are American, here you go. The United States Department of Energy has reported that we have, I think it started. Okay, it's like there's an intro, I think, to their live real quick. Okay. The United States of America has exported over 5,350,000 barrels per day of crude oil in the month of May. So you can see it kind of spiking between 2015 and 2020, and then another spike from 2026 till now, so the last 6 months, saw the largest spike in the shortest amount of time. We're pumping oil out. We are pumping oil. Firejack is saying that 2CTV is reporting the United States launched Tomahawk missiles towards central Iran. Okay, let me see. I saw nothing of the sort. Yeah, no, I didn't see that at all. Are you sure that's what he said? That definitely did not happen. But anyway. All right, here we go. I think here. Yep.
Support. I see Texas Troop, Lori Matthews, Obscure Moderator. We love all of our moderators. Thank you guys for everything that you do for this channel. We appreciate you so much. We got Texas Motherbird. We got Colton. Colton already hitting us up with the super chest. Colton, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Cherokee Chick, and everybody else that is just now tuning in. Make sure you say hi in the chat. And again, make sure you like, subscribe, all those things. Is what to tell you. We appreciate. Here's what I want you to do. Actually, I want you to like, subscribe, all that. But what I want you to do is share our content. So stop what you're doing right now. Copy that link. Go share it on Facebook. Go share it on X. Go share it everywhere so that we can spread our message. And what we're here to do is tell the truth and fight the lies. And that's what we're here doing almost every single night. So, but I will tell you right now, we will not have a show tomorrow night. We'll not be doing a show tomorrow night. I have an event to attend. So we will catch you back on Thursday. But without further ado, I want to bring on Armin. Armin, thank you so much for coming on. Like I said, I've had so many people like, you got to get Armin on. The moment that we had Goldie on, like, hey, you got to have Armin, her co-host. And I'm just glad you're here, and I appreciate you taking the time. And if you will, just take a moment to introduce yourself to everybody. Go back all the way as far as you'd like, because your story is amazing, and I want to hear more of it.
All right. Well, first of all, it's an honor to be here. Thank you so much for having me. That's really appreciate that. And thank you for such, the kind words. That's like, oh, well, thank you. So yeah. Hi, I'm Armin. Hi guys. Thank you for having me here. I guess, where do I start? I'm a Iranian ex-Muslim, proudly Zionist, pro-Israel, pro-America, pro-Iran, anti-Islamic Republic, anti-Islam, controversially. Not just Islamic Republic, Islam as a religion entirely. Not anti-Muslim. There's a difference. I'm not anti-Muslim. I'm very much anti-Islam. I've been fighting against Islam most of my life. I'm also against communism. I'm against woke left. I'm against woke right. By woke right, I mean like Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes kind of type of people. I've been fighting the Islamic Republic actively, both inside Iran and outside of Iran, for the past 20 years or so. I have a network of activists inside Iran. I've worked years to develop that. I have also a larger global network of activists fighting for secularism, liberty, freedom. I am in contact with I was out of contact with most of my out of touch with most of my contacts inside Iran for a while when the internet was cut. But now they're all back. Right now I'm working on this campaign to arm the Iranian people, which has been very successful. We get people, my contacts inside Iran, making videos, holding signs saying arm us. And we spread that around the world because many people inside Iran are discussing the fact that they need to get armed. Many people outside of Iran are discussing the fact that Iranian people need to get armed so that they could fight the regime. But I noticed that there's no communication. Like, the people who were discussing the Iranian people need to be armed were missing a huge part of it, where they could demonstrate that the Iranian people want this. So we started a campaign, messages sent to me, video messages sent to me from inside Iran, demonstrating that they are in Iran and demonstrating that they do want to get
Yes,
armed.
Armin started this
And
whole
as
trend.
soon as we started that, it went viral. This is just the most recent thing that we have done. And Mark Levin has been sharing that a lot. So Mark Levin just recently tweeted 2 of my posts on this. So a lot of Iranians inside Iran got really encouraged. I'm a YouTube host. on Liberty Politics. I do multiple shows a day. I do 10 hours of live streaming almost every single day.
Wow.
Six shows a day, 2 of them in Persian for my audience inside Iran, and the rest on my English channel, Liberty Politics. But yeah, so I mean, I could keep talking. I could talk about my life inside Iran and everything I had to deal with there, inside Iran, fighting the Islamic Republic and the Islamic ideology, and everything I did after I came out. But I don't want to keep talking.
No,
Yeah.
you're good. No, you're good. What I do want to know, because we're going to get
Whether you're a professional technician or simply take pride in maintaining your own cars, Harbor Freight offers quality auto tools to meet your
happening in Iran right now, because we're not hearing any of that. Like I'm constantly searching the news, what's actually happening in Iran. And last night we actually had a comment. Somebody said, why aren't the Iranian people doing more? And even like I'm looking at the stuff and I know what they're doing. I know they're out there protesting. I know they're out there resisting. I know that the reports are somewhere around 40,000 people have died fighting to take their country back in Iran. I don't know what those numbers are. I can't wait to kind of hear your take on some of the numbers that have come out of Iran. But more importantly, when did you leave Iran? Like, did you leave with your family? What predicated that? Like, what happened with that?
So I left by myself. When I was inside Iran for about a year, I became religious, like Muslim religious. And I grew up in a secular family that kind of were terrified that their own kid is turning into this extra religious Islamic, religious morality police at their home. But I mean, also there's if I tell you the stories for how I became religious, it's crazy. But eventually, I started seeing the flaws inside Islam, and I became more and more skeptical.
Wait, is it buffering for you guys? Are you able to
And
watch
I
this?
used to have,
it's fine.
I used to pray every night for God to show himself to me because I was losing faith in him. But eventually, the more I researched, the more I read, I was convinced by age, I think 17, 18, that this is all nonsense. Can I swear?
Of course you can. Swear
Okay,
away.
I realized that it's all bullshit. And then I became a full-on atheist, right? But when I told my parents that I'm an atheist now, their first reaction was like, "Oh, thank God," because that means that like I'm not this like crazy religious maniac at home trying to get them to pray, trying to get them to stop drinking alcohol, trying to get them to fast during Ramadan. So at first they were like happy, but then they realized this is actually very dangerous because just like when I was religious, I couldn't stop talking about Islam. Now that I'm an atheist, I couldn't shut my mouth up about how that Islam is bullshit. And my parents thought like, okay, our kid is going to die pretty soon. Like if he keeps talking about this, like, because I would go to school, I would talk about it to my friends. I even challenged my teachers a couple of times, and people were like, okay, I got arrested one time. I don't know if you want to. Okay, so one time I got arrested because I was in a car with a girl, and I got arrested, and they took me to the police station, and the guy there, the officer or whatever his role was, he started lecturing me about like, this is wrong. What are you doing? This is not Islamic. You need to be a good Muslim boy and everything. And I was like, I was just talking and talking and talking. I was getting so bored with his bullshit. So at some point I was like, listen, all those rules are fine for you, but they don't apply to me. And you're like, what the hell? What do you mean? I was like, those rules are for you. They don't apply to me. And he was like, why wouldn't they apply to you? And like, because I'm not a Muslim. So they don't apply to me. And he was like, what do you mean you're not a Muslim? Weren't you born a Muslim?
And he could have
In a
died
Muslim
right
family?
there.
And I was like, yeah, but I left Islam. So those rules are for you. Why are you like, stop lecturing me about that? And then he stopped talking and he was looking at me as if I was like crazy. And then after a little bit of pause, he told me like, I think like, it's not exactly the same words, but basically it translates to, listen to me, little shit. Don't you ever repeat those words ever again. You're going to get yourself killed. I can destroy your life right now with my pen because you said that. Like, are you out of your mind? Why would you say that? And then when my mom came to pick me up, he took my mom and he told her that your son just told me something, and I'm not going to repeat it, but you need to control your son because your son is going to get himself killed if he says what he just told me. And actually, that man probably saved my life because he actually scared the shit out of me, and I didn't. Basically, I was more cautious ever since then. But yeah, my parents were concerned, and also they were encouraging me to leave Iran. You know, I went to university inside Iran when I finished my high school. I actually went to Tehran University, which is one of the best universities in Iran. But after 1 year university, I didn't like, because I was there to study like my field of study, and they were forced teaching us Arabic, they were forced teaching us like Quran and religion, and I was like, at that point I was like kind of allergic to anything Islam related, and I'm like, you know what, I'm out of here, I want to leave. And when I told my parents I want to leave, people were like, yes, get out of here. So I left Iran and I continue my studies somewhere else. But yeah, so that is, here's another thing. When I was inside Iran, I started this group, Atheist Republic, without actually having my name on it, and it soon became the world's largest group for atheists. Immediately, even though I was started it inside Iran, it had 2.5 million followers. But then eventually Facebook took it down because it was too anti-Islamic. But so they took it down. But we grew to be the largest platform for atheists.
Wow,
globally,
Facebook.
even though it started with the most unfriendly place to atheists, which is interesting. But yeah,
That is interesting. And now, are you still atheist?
yes.
Fair enough. I'm going to pray for you. Pray for you. I hope you find Jesus.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I love what you're talking about, and I'm glad that you had the courage to stand up against the RGC and all of everything that goes along with that. I mean, that takes a lot of courage, to say the least. So, I mean, you're a perfect Christian already. We're gonna get you over to this side one way or the other. With that being said,
you know, no, let me actually say I'm open-minded, and I'm always open-minded to change my opinions, and I'm always up for a good discussion regarding views. However, I do think that as an atheist, I don't think that I think atheists, Christians, Jews, Hindus need to be united against the main threat to civilization, which is Islam, communism, woke right and woke left. We have disagreements among us
Islam.
I don't know if the answer is Jesus or Judaism or atheism. I think these are friendly disagreements that we could have, and we could have friendly discussions about them and try to convince each other. But I think none of these, even if we disagree, none of these are threats to civilizations, even if you disagree with them. I think Islam is not just a religion, it's a world model that is in competition with other world models, and so is communism. So we should celebrate each other being able to have these conversations and disagreements with each other, but we can only do that if we have a civilization, if we have a framework where we could have a stable environment for us to have these disagreements. And to be able to do so, we have to prioritize fighting these threats to civilization.
I couldn't agree more. And you know what it comes down to is personal liberty, right? Look, I don't care what religion you are or whatever else, but what it comes down to is that as Christians, we believe that God imbued man with individual freedom of choice. And who am I to take that away from everybody? And that is what's different when it comes to communism. And when we get to elements of radical Islam or Islam, that you don't have a choice. At a certain point, people no longer have a choice, and you will convert. And we'll talk more about that. But real quick, I do want to interrupt you, and I want to talk to everybody. Look, Candace Owens just came back, and this does tie into exactly what we're talking about. Candace Owens just came back from Russia. I haven't watched the full episode. I've only watched a few clips, but I do want to share something with you that ties right into this, because the only thing that is more dangerous than a
before he shows the new the clips, I mean, so before he shows these clips, we have breaking news.
That are convincing you.
We have breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. The second round of U.S. attacks are happening now. So as I find more information, we'll bring that up. Let's go back to the stream.
They give their bodies and they just wanted to help. I can't explain it. It was just like, it was something that was so beautiful that happened in this moment. And so I'll keep you posted, but that happened in the background. And anyway, the audacity of the gaslighting, I guess, sort of became this undercurrent theme, which rather neatly threads into Zionism, what we're seeing today, my broader experience in Russia, right? The audacity of the lies that they tell. It should just be studied. Just listening to that right there. They just don't care. Putin personally invited Candace to participate in this. We are all acknowledging right now that we are an occupied state. These people behave.
Stop it right there. There's so much more. I got a bunch of other clips. I'm not going to play them because I don't want to interrupt this interview with Armin. I think it's so important for Americans to know what's going on in Iran, and definitely from a firsthand point. But real quick, I do want to take you to this other post that I talked a little bit more in depth about this. And, you know, I was expecting Candace Owens to come back and kind of ease into this just a little bit, but that's not what we have. Immediately, as soon as that camera hit record, what we're hearing is straight up Dugin and Russian propaganda straight from her. The U.S. is bad. Russia is good. Jews run the U.S. For you to sit there and say that the United States is a Zionist occupied country where you're hearing nothing but lies about Russia blows my mind. Like, how ignorant of a society do we have to be where people don't even understand the inner workings of actually what's taking place in Russia? What I want people to do is I want you to look this stuff up for yourself, and beyond what I'm going to hit some of these real quick, but do your own research, know the facts. I want you to look up these independently verified metrics comparing U.S. to Russia. Human Freedom Index, look that up. Economic freedom, press freedom, economic mobility, quality of life indices, religious freedom. I am so thankful that we live in a country where a U.S. citizen and
all right, to give you guys a quick update on the second round of United States attacks on the Islamic Republic. Jask, the port city of Jask, just southeast of the Strait of Hormuz, is once again being battered by explosions. We are also seeing that they are also targeting air defense batteries and radars once again. Okay, so it seems like they have this guise of self-defense, and they're attacking anti-aircraft stuff. Okay, that's all we know so far.
Here's the reality of it. Where she went, the whole point of that was to push BRICS. Folks, BRICS is completely designed to completely replace the US dollar as the standard. And again, you think $5 gas is bad. Wait till you have $20 gas. Wait till we can no longer project the economic might and power that we do in the US to be able to hold off the evil countries like Russia, China, Iran, and many more, by the way. This is the globalist agenda repackaged for the right. And it sickens me down to my core that an American would go over there, talk about this, just completely ignore and omit all the real problems that Russia has when it comes to personal liberty and freedom, economic freedom, religious freedom. Like, there's no comparison. It doesn't even come close. If I heard her sit there and say those are all lies, and where it really goes down to, these are all Jewish lies that they've created. Folks, communism, where did we go wrong in America? We're suddenly in 2026. Now, like, communism is kind of a...
Okay, you know what? It seems like he is bringing up these points that his audience clearly disagrees with, right? Which, I mean, we kind of do as well, right? But then he wants his audience to see that an ex-Muslim also agrees with them. So basically, Gary, this guy's channel, is trying to show his audience that they are not so, like, they're okay to hate Islam. Like, they're okay to be anti-Islam. Because look, Armin used to be Muslim, and now he's not. And he agrees with us on the same points, and he thinks the same way that we do. So, you know, you guys can say openly that you're anti-Islam. I think that's what he's trying to eventually reach here.
We don't deserve to be the superpower of the world. Everything that we do overseas, we're causing more harm than good. All these people that hate us in the world is not because they hate us. It's suicidal empathy. Folks, I'm reading Gad Saad's book, started last night. You need to read that. It shows you exactly what's going on right now. It's this idea that we are victimizing everybody out there, when in reality, we are holding back evil, just like America has always done since its inception. But Armin, you know, again, coming from a place like Iran, like what's your take on all that?
I mean, it's amazing how people who pretend to be pro-America are celebrating all of America's enemies and attacking America's allies. And also, it's interesting because me as an Iranian, I recognize that the world owes a lot to the United States. Everything that we have, like the amount of stability and peace and prosperity that we have right now, is because of the United States economy, its culture, its influence, its fight for liberty, not just in the United States, but globally. But more importantly, because of its giant economy, because of the right methods and the right values that it has, and because of capitalism, and because of it being pro-liberty, has managed to grow its economy to a point where it could afford such a giant military that for the first time in history, that giant military has provided a level of stability globally that every country on earth is benefiting from. I think people don't understand that it's the United States military being present all around the world that makes maritime trade possible to the level that we have right now, which the entire global economy relies on. Every single country on earth would be significantly poorer right now if the United States military wasn't providing this free service to all the countries around the world. I mean, it benefits the United States because the United States economy relies on this global stability, but every other country is not paying for this and is benefiting from this. The whole world would be such a much more of a unstable, horrible, chaotic place. Like for the first time in 10,000 years of civilization, we have reduced violence and war to a level, unprecedented levels. People think that there's more war right now than ever before because they don't study history. We think that there's more war than ever before because it's on the news all the time. But we are living at the most peaceful, stable, prosperous time in history. And it happens because of United States military providing stability that makes trade and progress possible, is because of all the technology and science that comes from the United States that the whole world benefits from. The internet, computer, all of this comes from the United States. And that happens because the United States has the right model that makes its economy grow enough for technology and science to grow to such an extent in the United States. But it's also because of the models the United States has developed works so well that the whole world has adapted it since the Cold War. Like in Western Europe, we had the Age of Enlightenment, and we had basically the classical liberal values, or the Western values being was popularized there. But it wasn't after the French Revolution didn't enforce, like basically adopt those values. It was the standards, and United States was the first country that was founded properly based on those values. And everywhere else in the world right now, to some extent, some more, some less, is abiding by that value. Like the whole nation state model was created, the whole nation state model that now covers the entire planet was first put in practice by the founding of the United States. So everywhere you have a parliament, everywhere that you have, three branches of the government, everywhere that all of this comes from the United States. I mean, it was created in Western Europe, but it was put in practice most effectively in the United States. And after World War II, all of these standards were put in place in the Western world. But after the Cold War, it basically, after World War I and World War II, it became dominant in most of the world. But after the fall of after the Cold War and everything, it's now the dominant model everywhere. So after defeating communism, the Western model that was championed by the United States became the dominant model everywhere. And everywhere on the planet now, one way or another, we're following this model. And the American culture, people say like, Westerners have no culture, but the only reason why they don't see it is because it's like fish swimming in water. It's so ever present everywhere that they don't even see it, that everything everywhere in the world, from Indonesia, from to Bangladesh, even in Iran, even the fake versions of it is a copy of United States model. Like even in Iran, where you have fake elections, we have the parliament, you have the 3 branches. It's a fake version of it, but it's a fake version of what was created in the United States. But everywhere else that is more, like every country that is more successful, they're more successful because they more closely are implementing the standards that were popularized by the United States. Like, for example, if you look at Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, Western Europe, everybody that gets closer to the United States in their model and also becomes better friends of the United States benefits from it. So I think like the United States is the sun where all the other countries are like the planets orbiting it. And everybody, like without it, nobody would be able to be in their own orbit. Like it's necessary for the whole world. And the world doesn't appreciate it because it's just so used to it existing, and they're benefiting. It's so ever present everywhere in the world that people can't even understand its absence, and that's why they don't appreciate it. But I think the whole world owes a huge debt to the United States.
Yeah, it's almost like we're a shining city upon a hill. Yeah, and I would even, that's a good reminder to us as citizens too. It's like I feel like the further that we get away from the principles that we were founded upon, like we're becoming more like these third world countries. And to some degree, the United States has been in decline since the 50s and 60s. And I would say that's because we've had this injection of this globalist ideology, communism, specifically socialism. And I would say you can definitely track our decline, proportionally to how much we've implemented socialism, communism, all these different mind viruses that, our culture is starting to take hold of. And, we need to remind Americans, like, we need to get back to the founding principles of this country if we want to continue for this country to exist, to dominate the world. Because if we don't dominate the world will dominate us. And let me tell you something, there is no better option out there than the United States.
True. I do think the United States is not declining, though. I do think the United States is getting stronger and stronger. I think the United States has gone through periods of ups and downs, but if you zoom out and look at it, I think their dominance and strength, like the gap between United States power and the rest of the world, is widening every single year.
Yeah, I'll buy that to some extent. I do think that can be true while we're still declining. And what I mean specifically is, manufacturing in this country. We continue to have additional reliance on outside of our own borders. We saw that definitely during COVID, right? Everything from medical devices to medicine. Suddenly,
What do you guys think? Do you think the United States is growing in power or declining in power? I feel like it's growing, and I think Armin's right. If you zoom out, he's right. For those of you who might have joined in, a couple of you joined late. So the U.S. struck the Islamic Republic. The Islamic Republic started throwing missiles at the Arabs again. Israel still hitting southern Lebanon. Pakistan and Afghanistan started hitting each other. Turkey started hitting Iraq. And right now, America is hitting the IRGC positions again in the Strait of Hormuz. But so they're hitting Kesh Island, the port of Jask, the port of Bandar Abbas. So this is the second wave of attacks that are happening. Literally, as we speak, there are explosions over there on that side of the world. The interesting part is that this isn't verified, but people are saying that some of the missiles from this round of strikes is coming from Bahrain. This might be US bases in Bahrain, but wow, I don't think the Bahrainis will be happy about that one, because that just means that they're going to get targeted by the IRGC here. That's my update.
And then you fall and your neck breaks and you die right away. But the Islamic Republic was That's not painful enough. So the Islamic Republic, the way they execute is that they put the noose around your neck, and instead of having something, open under your feet, they lift you up. So you die, you suffocate very slowly. And for some people, sometimes it takes up to 20 minutes. There are reports that some people were experiencing so much pressure when they were dying that they chewed at their own tongue. And they have doctors there that have to come constantly check if you're dead already. But they make it slow on purpose. So that's how they do it. And so every time you hear there's an execution inside Iran, just know that they on purpose made it a slow, very, very painful death. And we right now, by the way, Gary, as we're speaking, we're getting executions all the time. Like every day I'm hearing news, another person got a death sentence, another person got a death sentence. And so per capita, we have the higher number of executions inside Iran. On a total number, Iran is the second highest executions after China. But I think on a per capita, they're not number one in executions. And a lot of them are just for political reasons, for people who are anti-regime or anti-Islam.
If you will, give everybody like a clear picture of what the Iranian people are going through right now, how they're resisting, what they're resisting. You mentioned that they were being armed. I'd like to hear more about that, because I think that's the one thing that I wish the president would be more aggressive on. I would love to see Iran just flooded with weapons so that the Iranian people can rise up against the IRGC.
So, I mean, I'm not saying they're being armed. We're trying to push for them being armed, right? We don't know if there's plans for that or if something is in place or not. But we are basically asking for the Iranian people to be armed. But before I say that, before I say why we're at this point, I just want to make it clear that if the Iranian people are to be armed, it absolutely needs to be in coordination with Prince Reza Pahlavi. They cannot, it cannot be, because that's the person that the Iranian people consider to be their leader, to be the leader of the revolution. And any form of organization or any form of like arrangement of this using anyone else, like the Kurdish separatist groups or other countries, or any other group of people, it's not going to work. It's going to backfire. It's going to backfire big. And the arming has to be done in a coordinated way, with filtering in place, with training in place. And it's not about just guns. It's also about drones. I think drones are supposed to be, like, we had a lot of success in Lebanon with Ukrainian soldiers training the opposition against Assad again with drone technology. And that was really effective against Assad. So we need something similar in Iran with drones. And drones are becoming more and more user-friendly and easier to train on. And I've heard like somebody who's not experienced with them, within 4 to 7 months of training, will be able to use them pretty efficiently. And I think that is something that the Islamic Republic doesn't really know how to defend against. If we had a whole bunch of like drones being operated on Iranian soil by Iranian people. But obviously, all of this has to be done with coordination with Prince Reza Pahlavi. With regards to how we got here, is that this is how the Iranian people have demonstrated that they are willing to do what's necessary to topple the regime. In early January, the whole world watched them come out in the millions, unarmed against an armed regime. And they paid the highest price imaginable for it. This is the greatest act of massacre in modern history by a state against unarmed people. Haven't seen anything like it. Tens of thousands of Iranians were killed, not in a matter of days, but in a matter of 10 hours, 5 hours on a Thursday and 5 hours on a Friday. A lot of people say 42 hours in 2 days. It wasn't 42,000. They say 42,000 in 2 days. It wasn't 42,000 in 2 days. It was 42,000, if that's the actual number, in 10 hours. 10 hours. So to understand how big of a number that is, the Hamas, if you believe Hamas numbers regarding how many so-called Palestinians died in Gaza, if you just accept that number, we're dealing with a number like 65,000 that died over a year and a half, even if you believe that number. So the Islamic Republic got to 42,000 in 10 hours. That is insane. So, and not only that, just 40 days after that, the Iranian people came out in the streets again, and until they were told by their leader, Prince Reza Pahlavi, and the Americans and Israelis that it's not the time. You guys are going to get crushed. So there was a lot of eagerness to come back and do the next uprising, and they were convinced to go back home because the evaluation by President Trump, Prime Minister Netanyahu, Princess of Pahlavi, and Admiral Cooper, leader of CENTCOM, was that this is not the time. You're not you're going to get crushed again. So stay home. It's safer for you to stay home. So this is why the Iranian people are like, it's ridiculous to expect them to do an uprising again, given that we saw that even if the Iranian people come out in the millions, the regime could just rain bullets on them with their machine guns and just kill tens of thousands of them again. I mean, they have demonstrated that they're very, very brave, but they're not stupid. Like, that will not get us anywhere, right? Yeah. So given that the Iranian people have shown already their bravery and their determination and their eagerness to topple the regime, I think the next step is for the world realize that they can't do this unarmed. And again, by the way, just remember that what the Iranian people need is not like troops on the, like, we don't want a ground invasion like Iraq, like what happened 20 years ago in Iraq. Like, no troops on the ground, nothing like that. We already have troops. We already have boots on the ground. The boots on the ground is the Iranian people. They're already willing to fight. They already are ready to do what's necessary to free their country. All they need is just the weapons to be able to do so. And also, just so for Americans to understand, that scientific polls shows that after Iran, the most popular, what do you think, Gary? What do you think? So what is the number one popular country among Iranians after Iran?
I mean, it's got to be the U.S.
It's the United States, right?
And then Israel.
So it's the number one country after Iran for Iranian is the United States. So what do you think is going to happen with a country that is this U.S. friendly? The people are this U.S. friendly. What do you think is going to happen when they topple the regime? Like, what are the consequences to the United States for a nation like that to be able to choose their own leaders and have a state that actually reflects the Iranian people?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see us have a strong ally with Iran as another ally in the Middle East. And on top of that, not only do I think if we get rid of the IRGC, which I think is critical, like, you're going to hear Gary talk very critically of President Trump if we do not get rid of the IRGC. I think we have an opportunity to do this that will bring stability and peace in the Middle East like we've never seen before.
Yeah, and it will save the Americans so much money and lives. A lot of Americans should remember that the Islamic regime in Iran has killed more Americans than any other currently existing state in the world, right? So that should make them your number one enemy. Also, a lot of people are worried about the costs associated with military operations. First of all, if you arm the Iranian people, that would cost very little, because you're not actually it wouldn't be American soldiers that would be doing the job. It would be Iranian people. So that would save the Americans a lot of money. But also the strategy of containment of the Islamic Republic every single year for the past 47 years cost the American taxpayer so much, much, much more than the cost of toppling the regime. And it's not just the cost of toppling the regime that is very low compared to having the Islamic Republic as your enemy. It's also all the financial benefits for having Iran as an ally, because Iran will become a contributing factor to fighting America's enemies in the Middle East in the same way that Israel is fighting America's enemies in the Middle East. In fact, I think Iran and Israel will become very, very strong allies. Iran and Israel have ancient bonds. They have the same values. Iranian people and the Israeli people share the same enemy, and the Iranian people love Israel. They love United States and they also love Israel. And like the ancient bond that of the Iranian people and Israeli people, no two other nations share this deep of a bond. I mean, it's biblical. Their bonds are biblical. Like that's how ancient and old it is, right? And I think that if once Iran is free, both Israel, I mean, imagine having another country like Israel being an ally of the United States in the Middle East, killing America's enemies in the Middle East. The amount of resources that will free up from the US military, the United States will be saving trillions, and I'm not exaggerating, trillions of dollars in military spent once the Middle East is freed up from the Islamic Republic terrorism. Just think about all the oil and gas that is coming out of Iran that the Islamic Republic is using to fund terrorism. Not only that terrorist ATM would be cut, not only the terrorists would stop being able to use my country as their own personal ATM, all of that oil and gas revenue will now go. It wouldn't just be cut from terrorists, will now be spent on Iran's military to go hunt down terrorists.
He's absolutely correct.
Here's one thing that people need to recognize. When the Iranian people get rid of the Islamic Republic, they're not done hunting down Islamic terrorists, right? Because the Iranian people are not going to forget the 47 years of the crimes that the Islamic Republic has done to us. So many of these people are going to go run away, and we're going to go hunt them down wherever they're going. Like just like the Jews, once they founded Israel, they didn't stop. They went Nazi hunting all around the world, wherever these people are. And the Iranian people are going to do the same thing. And it's not just going to be the IRGC. We're not going to also just going to hunt IRGC wherever they're hiding. We're going to go after Hashd al-Shabi in Iraq, Zainabi in Pakistan, Fatimiyun in Afghanistan, and Hezbollah in Lebanon, and Hamas in Gaza, because all of these people were responsible for coming into Iran and killing my people. So we're going to go to wherever they are, and we're going to help Israel. We used to work with Israel before the Islamic Revolution. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Savak, which was Iran's intelligence agency, was trained by the Mossad. So our Artesh, which is the Iran's military, is going to be working with the IDF, and our intelligence operations, which is Savak, is going to be working with Mossad, and we're going to go hunting. So all that oil and gas revenue is going to be used to spend on intelligence operations and military operations to go kill not just Iran's enemies, not just Israel's enemies, but the Iran's and Israel's enemies happen to also be America's enemies. And Americans will also don't have to spend all that money and all of those lives on hunting these people down. They could just rely on Iran and Israel to do that in the Middle East and bring stability and peace to the Middle East. And that will free up so much of United States military to focus on maybe the Pacific or their own hemisphere. So that's going to be trillions and trillions of dollars in saving if you add that up.
Yeah, not only that, all the different economic opportunities that we would have if we were, trade partners, economic partners as well.
Think about when Iran is free. Armin's absolutely right. Terrorism, as we know it in the Middle East, is going to diminish and start disappearing. Why? Because of us. We're going to take them all out. Not because we're doing anyone a favor, okay? One, we want revenge. Two, it's safer for us, Iranians, if those guys are taken out of the equation. All the terror groups that Armin just mentioned, it's completely to the benefit of Iran to have them gone. Not only that, guys, decades of sanctions, those are gone. You can trade with whoever you want to trade now. And remember where Iran sits on the map. It sits in between 3 continents, basically, between 2 bodies of water, in one of the most strategic locations in the world.
They're not funding all these terrorist organizations. I mean, terrorism around the world is pretty much going to shrivel to nothing. And then whatever's left, just like you said, Iran can handle, the United States can handle, Israel can handle, but we're going to have stability in the Middle East. And we'll see if anything fills that vacuum. But I just can't, I can't imagine how, the number one state sponsor of terror is Iran. And it's 80% of it, a large portion of that, especially in the Middle East.
Yeah, I mean, you're so right. I mean, I'm sure some terrorist elements will remain, but every single terror, as you very correctly pointed out, every single terrorist group associated with the Middle East and also in other places gets their funding from Iran, from the natural wealth of the Iranian people, instead of being spent on the Iranian people, is being spent on these terrorist groups. So even if these terrorist groups still, some of them still remain after the fall of the Islamic Republic, I mean, they're losing their most important source of funding, which is the oil and gas of Iran. And not only that, that's going to be, that same oil and revenue is going to be spent on military operations to hunt them down. So that would be devastating. So obviously nothing is going to completely wipe out terrorism completely, but it's going to be night and day. Like, it's going to be so much less significant. I mean, like, the Nazi regime in Germany fell. Are there still Nazis in the world? Of course there are still Nazis in the world, but it's nothing remotely, like, it's not even close to how it used to be, right? I mean, there's still communists around the world, but this is not at all resembling to what the world was like when we had the Soviet Union and and Mao and stuff like that around the world. So it's so much better. So it will become so much less, and it will also prepare United States it will put United States in such a perfect position in this Cold War that we're entering between United States and China. Having Iran flip from a CCP and Putin ally to a US ally, I mean, United States is already in a very good position for this upcoming Cold War between United States and China. But I think if we get Iran, which is such an energy-rich and rare earth mineral-rich country, to switch from being an ally of Putin and CCP to being an ally of United States, they put United States in a very, very comfortable position for the upcoming AI and robotics race and the new geopolitical global order that we're about to enter. I think the dominance of United States, I mean, this, when it comes to AI and robotics, the main inputs are rare earth minerals and energy for the country to have the upper hand. And United States was very wise to make sure that Venezuela becomes, is on US's side before we move further into this new chapter of world history. But Iran is also very energy rich. It's a very key strategic area. It's right in the connection between 3 continents, and the United States cannot afford to let Iran be a proxy for Putin and more importantly the CCP. They just can't afford to let that be the case. So that has to be solved.
Highlighted several things there too. Not only is Iran killing Americans, but like they're killing thousands, tens of thousands, and they're responsible for the deaths of tens of thousands of not only Iranians, but those in Gaza and many other places. Like October 7th wouldn't have been able to happen if it wasn't for the funding and the material support that Iran has provided to Hezbollah and all the other terrorist organizations. And so like the 60,000, whatever the number is in Gaza, like those people would still be alive. And chances are
Hey, can you guys hear me? I'm going to give you guys some updates here. So I don't know if I was trying to talk over the stream there. I thought I was muting it, but there are a second round of attacks from the United States on the IRGC positions in the Strait of Hormuz. So more explosions in Bandar Abbas, Kesh Island, and Sirik, and the port of Jask as well. So the same 4 locations that were being hit before are being hit again repeatedly. And the IRGC is coming out with the regular propaganda saying that the U.S. has hit water tank and water treatment facilities and such, so that that's open for them to now hit as well in the Middle East. We might see some retaliation here from the IRGC again towards the Arab countries. And that is pretty much the updates as of the last 15-20 minutes here. Someone also found some IRGC trucks hiding in a tunnel and took some pictures of it. So I guess that location is now going to be in Pune Tunnel, Loristan. So that is also shared. I'm going to show you guys what that looks like here. So these are some IRGC vehicles, some trucks. I'm not exactly sure what's in them because what it looks like could be anything. And this first truck has a half open door, but the other ones are more closed. And those could be pretty much anything there. These are deep inside, and that's infrastructure. So this is going to be tough to hit, but think about it this way. If those trucks stay in there and they don't come out, they are as good as useless. If they do come out, they will probably be seen because now this tunnel right here, Pune Tunnel in Loristan, is going to be identified immediately and is probably going to be watched. This is great. Whoever took this is from right now. This is from like past 30 minutes. Whoever took this picture or these pictures, you're doing everyone a favor. So this is great information here. Whatever's in those trucks are never going to see the light of day again. And if they do, they will be blown to smithereens. Also, I'm going to have to message Armin here and ask him to ask that guy not to copyright strike us, because I guess we were sharing his stream there. So hopefully that turns out okay. I would prefer if the stream doesn't get taken down. And that is round 2 of the retaliatory strikes. Now it seems like here's what's the IRGC are claiming that Israel had a part in these strikes, but it turns out that the part that Israel played was that the refueling tanker that the United States Air Force and Navy used tonight to conduct these strikes was taken off from Ben Gurion Airport in Israel. So the IRGC is saying, hey, that's Israeli help, which is the same thing that they've been saying for all of the Persian Gulf Arab countries. You guys have U.S. bases in your countries. We're going to hit you no matter what. I don't care what you say. And they did tonight. But it seems like they were only using drones, so they were all intercepted. The drones fly really slow. It's easy to intercept them, which is why usually this is the type of attack that you carry out. You launch the ballistic missiles first. They are much, much faster. And then after the enemy already has a tough time intercepting the ballistic missiles, or if they already got hit and they know that you're attacking, then you send the drones in. Is the interviews background okay for YouTube? The interviews background? I'm not sure. I'm going to stop sharing it completely. But look, here's my 2 cents on tonight. Tonight seemed to be just more of obviously this wasn't an all-out strike. In fact, it was more of hey, we'll kind of signal to you guys that we're about to hit you. Both sides are telling each other that they're about to strike. Because who announces that they're going to hit first, then hit? It's usually the other way around. Quite frankly, a little disappointing if the IRGC fires a missile at an Apache helicopter and the pilots just happen not to die. Doesn't mean it's like what Armin was saying the other day. It's as if I stand in front of you and I take a swing to punch you in the face and I miss. Well, I still swung at your face. So, yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. If that's all they did, they just hit the ports of Bandar Abbas Jask and a couple of bases on Kesh and Sirik. They hit them hard, but we've been seeing a lot of that. I'm not sure that's going to change the IRGC's position on things. In fact, what it's going to do is, for their own supporters, it's going to make them pretty upset. Now the regime supporters are going to say, well, we have to respond. I would be very surprised if the IRGC doesn't launch missiles again tonight. I'm pretty much counting on it, actually. All right. I sent in a super chat over there. Pushups is saying, I sent in a super chat over there on Armin's interview saying, will free Iran have terrorist huntings? Okay, that's some hardcore stuff. No, we're gonna have our brave soldiers do it. You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of where was it? Kosovo or the Balkans War that happened there. Yeah, Sarah, I don't know if I'm gonna go to the gym today because I usually go at this time. I'm kind of conditioned to go at this time because usually you would end work at this time and you just go to the gym right afterwards. But here's the thing: the IRGC is probably gonna start launching missiles again, and that might have retaliation from either the Arabs or the US or Israel. And yeah, we'll just keep going in a circle. It's kind of been going in a circle for 2 weeks here. But look, the original thing that we meant to discuss today, and we'll discuss it again tomorrow, unless there's, crazy stuff happening. But President Trump said that complete victory will be achieved in 2 weeks. He said that yesterday in a tele-rally. What is going to happen in 2 weeks? Within 2 weeks? I get it. Things can happen super fast, right? Super fast in a matter of days. But what is Trump considering to be complete victory? Who in the Islamic Republic can give him this complete victory? And what is that going to mean for the Iranian people exactly? So we'll discuss that tomorrow. And I'm going to check on. Okay, so their interview's still going, but I think I got the gist of their interview. Basically, they've been saying a lot of the things that we've been saying, and so Amir was asking us what I think about this and if I have any criticism. Yeah, I don't think the U.S. is declining. I think it's increasing its power, definitely. A lot of countries around the world have actually decreased their power. But we're in a period of change right now. So, yeah. Trying to see if I missed anything here. No, I think that's pretty much it. Well, we have a super chat here from Vrij Boer van de Velde. He said, I ain't even Iranian, but I was offended on y'all's behalf when I saw IRGC saying Javid. Yeah, Javid Iran, they were saying that. Ain't nothing Javid about him. No, there ain't. You know your chants are working when the IRGC are stealing them. Disgusting. They do this every time, guys. But most of you might know, but some of you don't. Every time that the Islamic Republic is under pressure and they think that they need some sort of advantage, they go straight back to being like, hey, we're all Iranian here. And then boom, everything's good. And they go back to, hey, put your hijab back on. Hey, you can't dance, you can't sing, you can't talk to boys or girls, you can't do this. It's just a cycle, and they're always going to do it. These people are just completely evil. All right, we're going to check this latest bit of news. Everyone's catching up on the news that there's powerful explosions in Bandar Abbas. We've been saying that for a while. Iraqi channels are saying the same thing that they've been saying for a few hours now, which is that American fighter jets are flying in the skies of Iraq. Yep, we've been saying that. All right, there was the United States' defense, self-defense strikes tonight. We got 2 rounds of them so far. In this 2 weeks, guys, what is going to happen in this 2 weeks? Because it's a pretty bold thing to come out in a tele-rally and say we will achieve complete victory in 2 weeks. Well, first of all, you've been saying timeline stuff for a deal 38 times exactly. And, that timeline has been moved from when you usually say, but you haven't said complete victory in 2 weeks before. Man, we'll have to see about this. Keep an eye out to see if the rumors about the United Arab Emirates giving $3 billion to the IRGC is true or not. I'm going to be checking on that. While $3 billion is technically only 6 days worth of money for the regime, in terms of how they lose $500 million a day, that is still not the direction that we want to be moving in at all. And I don't like that precedent at all. That is all I believe that's going to happen for today. We're probably going to see some more missile launches from the IRGC to Kuwait and Bahrain. Other than that, that is pretty much it. We might see another late night live stream like we did a couple nights ago. But other than that, I wish you guys the best. And I just remembered I'm going to say what Armin's said. So, Amir Zul Chai. Slava Ukrainia. Cuba Libre. Long of America. Jobbik Shaw. And Payandeira. Have a good night, guys.